So you may or may not have noticed lately, I've been cutting back on the movie news and reviews here on the channel. I still cover it when it's a hot topic, and we still cover it on Storms Live. Storms Live is a movie podcast that we do every Sunday, and we'll be doing it again this coming Sunday. But I've really been cutting back on the news, and it's mostly because of the negative feedback that I get on a consistent basis whenever I give my opinion on how I feel a movie is being produced, or the casting choices, or how stories been changed. And to be honest with you, you can only be called incel, racist, and neckbeard so much until it actually affects you on a personal and on a mental level. You know, I am a real person. People may not know that. You know, like you can go on a keyboard and you can type certain things, and you might not think that your words hurt, but after so much, words on top of words, eventually it does affect you. And I don't understand why people feel like, just because we have different opinions on a certain aspect of a film or whatnot, that it's okay to automatically criticize and brand someone a racist or an incel. And I don't think people that say that those words really understand the real meaning and weight behind those words. Calling someone a racist, like, that's a real heavy thing. It's not something that you just toss around like it's nothing, because it means a lot. And in the video game community, although there is some toxicity in the video game community, it's not as bad as the movie community, right? If you sit there and say, hey, this game, for an example, Jedi Survivor, I didn't like this game. By the way, I love Jedi Survivor. It's a phenomenal game. But let's say I didn't like Jedi Survivor, right? You might have a couple people calling you names, right? Like, oh, you're stupid or something, but they're not calling you racist or an incel because you didn't like Jedi Survivor, especially if you have valid points and actual gameplay footage showing how broken and choppy the game actually is. The worst case scenario, you have PlayStation fans and Xbox fans calling you Sony Pony or Xbox. That's really about it. Other than the console war toxicity, you're not being called horrific things like racist and incel. I did like the Madam Web trailer, and people just sat there and called me like an incel and stuff because I didn't like the Madam Web trailer, and I think it's absolutely awful. And I don't understand why people feel like it's okay to use these words to talk to people this way over a movie that they had nothing to do and will get no financial gain from. It's a movie. It's a movie, for Christ's sake. I know when I was younger, I used to get on here and I used to rant and do all kinds of crazy things. I'm approaching 40 years old next month. I have matured as a person, and yes, I don't agree with all these little casting choices and stuff, but I like to think that I came out with an intelligent explanation of why I like or dislike something. And you don't have to agree, but that doesn't mean you have to call me names or unsubscribe. I don't understand why people unsubscribe over a difference of opinion, right? Dude, does everybody want people to agree with everything? I follow Jeremy Johns for years now. It's probably approaching a decade. I follow Jeremy Johns. I don't agree with his reviews all the time, like especially his recent stuff. I really disagree with a lot of his recent reviews. I don't unsubscribe. I don't call him an incel or a man baby. I'm like, oh, we just have different opinions. And Jeremy Johns does a great job explaining why he feels the way he does. And that's what I try to do. And I don't understand the toxicity of the movie-going community. So I've really been cutting back on, and there's a lot of stuff to talk about. There's so many topics in movie news right now. I can talk like a 3-hour podcast just covering everything that I missed from my honeymoon till today. But today I want to kind of talk about this Silver Surfer drama. So go ahead and bring the incel and all this stuff in the comments, but it is what it is. So the rumor is going on right now on social media that I'm seeing that the MCU is going to be basically gender swapping Silver Surfer into a female-led character. And I have a problem with that, and I really want to just kind of talk about that, but it's just not that I want to talk about. Now, this news story broke, the original source broke from Jeff Snyder from Collider, okay? Jeff Snyder has broken a lot of news stories that have all coming up legit. So once I saw Jeff Snyder's name attached to the original source that broke this news, it kind of gave me cause to pause, and I wanted to talk about it. Here's my thing, and not only is the Silver Surfer female swap the main thing, it's also being reported by Jeff Snyder. He said that from right now, what he has heard and what he has been told from his inside sources is that the movie's going to focus on Sue Storm and Reed Richards is kind of going to be a dick, you know. So it's going to be heavily focused on Sue Storm, and they're going to, you know, gender swap Silver Surfer. Here's my problem with this. And this is my problem with a lot of the race swapping, gender bending, all these type of terms, right? The problem is, one, the Fantastic Four movies have never been done 100% correctly, right? I think the closest ones were like the early 2000s one. But they had 3 attempts to do Fantastic Four. 3 attempts have not been successful. This is the MCU's shot to say, hey, we got our property back. We're going to do this right. And it has to be done right. So the first thing you want to do is take a beloved character like the Silver Surfer and make him a female for no apparent reason, right? No one watching this video can give me a 100% honest answer that is 100% correct and actually defends this. No one can give me an answer defending this, that it's because of an agenda. Okay, Disney has been doing this time and time again over the years, that they change certain characters because they want to meet a certain agenda. That is not me making anything up. This is 100% true. This is 100% legit. If you're saying that it's not an agenda base, then you are just blind. I got a sandbox in Florida for you, because even Ray Charles can see that Disney has an agenda pushing these characters and race swapping and gender bending. And the reason why I have a problem with this is for 2 different reasons, right? The main reason is, hey, this is Marvel's version of the Fantastic Four. They're trying to do this the right way, right? They're trying to do this the right way. You have to do it. You can't come out of the gate and fumble this, because it's already been fumbled 3 times. You have to pick up the ball. You have to cross the finish line. You need to get the touchdown, okay? You need to score the touchdown here with the Fantastic Four. And by taking Silver Surfer, you have already fumbled on your own 5. You know, you have 3 more downs, and you already fumbled on your opening drive, right? That is just insane to me. And then the second reason is a reason that I say for a lot of different things is, imagine growing up as a kid and you've been a fan of the Silver Surfer your whole life, and you're like, oh, right, man, we're going to get a second attempt of the Silver Surfer. Marvel's bringing the Silver Surfer to the big screen. Can't wait to see the Fantastic Four. Like, you're a massive Fantastic Four fan, a massive Silver Surfer fan, right? And you've been a fan for decades, and you're a massive fan of this character. And they just completely changed the character. So the character that you love, that you grew up with, got completely changed for no other reason to have like a check mark next to this giant agenda that these movie studios are trying to force down people's throat. And here's the kicker. This is the big problem. This is the biggest problem. The biggest problem here is they're changing this, and for the reason they're changing it isn't going to bring any more butts and seats. Do you think just because you make the Silver Surfer female that you're going to bring a bigger female demographic into the movie theater? It's not going to happen. It's the same thing when they made Superboy, Jonathan Kent, when they made him bisexual. You know, I believe his name is Jonathan Kent. It's been forever since I watched or read the Superman comics. But when they made him bisexual, did they think that you were going to bring in more of the LGBTQ community into the comic book reading sphere? No, comic book reading is very niche, and over the years, it got the comic book reading community got smaller and smaller. By changing a character and making them changing their sexuality or their race, and you're not bringing any more people in. You know, what you do, in fact, do is alienate and piss off the fans of the actual community. So by changing Silver Surfer into a female, you're not going to bring in a bigger female. There's no chick on the street that's going to go, holy buckets of wiener craps, guys, Silver Surfer's female. I'm going to go see this movie now. Nobody's going to do that. But what you will do is take a lot of people who are looking forward to this movie, looking forward to the Fantastic Four, that are massive Fantastic Four and Silver Surfer fans. As soon as you turn them female, what you then do is you upset that community. If you do not respect your hardcore fan base, you will never be successful. And I got the perfect example for you. When you go back and look after the Xbox 360 era, right? Xbox 360 was running high, right? They came out with this Xbox One machine, and everything was TV, 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 movies, TV. Like you can see the supercut, right? Xbox crashed and burned. Xbox to this day is still never was able to capitalize the success that it had with the 360 era because they alienated the hardcore fan base. So they tried to bring in all these movie studios and TV. They tried to bring in the casual media user, but they pissed off the gamers. And the gamers all went to PlayStation 4. So it's the same thing. You're trying to bring in like a larger African American community. I hate using the whole African American title, right? It's like I'm not British American, okay? I'm white. I was born here, right? Like the dude on the street, the guy across the street is black. He wasn't born in Africa. He was born in America, right? You're trying to bring in, so that's a little nitpick, but you're trying to bring in different demographics to these movies that they're either going to go see the movie on its own or not. But just because you take Ariel and make her black, you're not going to get a larger amount of black audience to come in and see the movie. You're not going to get a large female audience to come in just because you're putting Silver Surfer as a female. You're not going to. Okay, but what you will do is alienate the hardcore Silver Surfer Fantastic Four fans. It is what it is, you know? But like I said, I've been taking a step back from the movie going news because I am tired of the name calling and all that different stuff. To me, it's getting to a level of insanity. And I'd rather stick to video game stuff. And that way, when I say something that's controversial, it revolves around video games. I'm not being called racist or incel because if anybody truly knows me in my heart, that's not who I am. And for people who don't know me, just to brand me something, and it just, to me, it's insane. And the movie, like, I don't need to be stressed out or losing sleep over dingle hoppers on the internet who live in their mom's basement calling me names. And people unsubscribing because they disagree with a certain take that I may or may not have. So to me, that's insane. But anyway, guys, that's my thoughts on the topic. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the whole video. I know it was a little long, but I will catch you guys this Sunday on Storms Live when we talk about this and several other topics. Hopefully you guys have a fantastic and safe holiday. Goodbye, everybody. Take it easy.